What's up, y'all? How you doing? Hope everything's going great. We got to talk about something that people don't often talk about, or they don't realize what they're witnessing. And I see it a lot, and people are constantly amazed by it over and over. You'd think after a while they would start to notice that something's wrong with their thinking, and that is people have to unlearn what they've learned for the most part. I want to talk about why Jake Paul right now is pretty much shocking the boxing world. He's shocking just people that aren't even fans of boxing. He's shocking mixed martial artists and everybody. Like, how is he beating these guys? He's knocked out everybody he's faced. He didn't knock out Woodley in the first fight, but knocked him out in the rematch, of course. I'm sure you've seen the photos or memes or whatever. But the thing is, people are shocked. And, he's not the best fighter in the world. And he's nitpicking who he fights right now. But, every fighter that starts off, they don't start off fighting champions. They build up their record and then they get their title shot. So he's not doing anything out of the ordinary with that. I'd like to see him fight, someone that's used to boxing, though, next time. But the thing is, people follow a cookie cutter approach. They figure you have to do it a certain way. You got to have 200 amateur fights. You have to go to the Olympics. You have to medal. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to jog 10 miles a day. You don't have to do any, you have to do it your way. You have to do it the way you see it, the way you envision it. And they never look at a person's will. And I talked about this before, but for my new subscribers, you probably didn't hear it. People were shocked when George Foreman came back at the age of 38 and won the title back at 44. People were shocked at that. Why were you shocked at it? Because of his age. People put too much emphasis on age and experience. It's not that serious. Foreman was better in his comeback than he was when he was younger. He got knocked down several times when he was younger. Didn't get knocked down once when he returned. You saw that fight he had with Holyfield where he took seemed like 50 unanswered punches, looked like even some elbows. Got wobbled, didn't fall. The guy's pulling diesels up hills with a rope. Foreman is not, it's not that Foreman is so unusual, it's just that he went out there and did it when somebody else would say, I can't do it, I'm too old, You're listening to other people. Why do you limit people that, once they get a certain age, you say, oh, you can't fight or you can't do that, but yet you could go work at Walmart. So why can you work at Walmart or Target, but you can't do something physical? I just saw a video the other day of a 73-year-old guy in shape, better than 20-year-olds, hitting a bag and not just hitting it, but hitting it fast. There's no excuses. Stop looking at everything cookie cutter, like you have to do it this way or you can't do it at all. It's like Will Smith said in The Pursuit of Happiness when his son was playing basketball and he told him, I'm not too good at basketball, so you might want to not, take practice shots every day because you're probably not going to be too good because of me. Then his son threw the basketball and got frustrated. And then he went to him and realized, you know what? Don't let anybody ever tell you can't do something. People tell you can't do something just because they can't. They can't put a boundary on you because that's what they feel. If you want to accomplish something, go out there and do it, period. And if you haven't seen that movie, go watch it. It'll inspire you. I mean, it is a heavy movie, but you'll really like that part if you haven't seen it. But I just find it odd that people keep getting surprised when somebody does this. And like Jake Paul told Dana White, he's making his whole organization look bad. And why is Jake Paul winning? I think it's his will, because he had more will than Tyron Woodley. So it didn't matter that Tyron Woodley had all these titles and accolades. He had a bunch of street fights, according to him, and it took one shot and he fell face down, worse than Creed did in Rocky IV. The guy's will. It doesn't matter that his experience isn't, high level. He didn't have an amateur career as far as I know, unless it was a YouTube fight or something. But don't let somebody tell you can't do something because it hasn't been done before. anything that was invented hadn't been done before. So, if people would listen to the person telling them they couldn't do it, then we never have a light bulb, we never have traffic lights, we'd never have pretty much anything we use in our household almost. So I just get tired of the cookie cutter mindset. I mean, first thing people do when they analyze athletes is like, well, how old is he? How many amateur fights has he had? It's the will. And, there's a big saying, and it's cliche-ish, and I hear it a lot, that styles make fights. It's true to a point, but more, especially with boxing, that applies more to me than mixed martial arts because you have more to look out for. But more than styles making fights, when it comes to boxing, it's more about your will and your heart. It doesn't matter if a guy is more skilled than you. If you're relentless, you're going to break him down because you're relentless. Don't matter what his style is. If he ain't got the heart, you're going to just run him out of the ring. And I've seen it happen. And people just have to stop listening to other people. People are bandwagon hoppers. They're sheep. They're sheeple. They hear something that's popular. They hear it from somebody they respect, and they figure, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, you got to have this, this, and this to get here. I mean, just about all millionaires never went to college, but you're taught in America, you have to go to college, you have to graduate, you get a good job, you work for somebody else. You don't have to follow that route. Like I said, most people that are millionaires never even went to college. They created their own businesses. Why? Because they didn't have some cookie cutter plan. They had to really think like, okay, I'm not doing it the traditional way. So they're almost forced to become successful because you're not doing it the way other people tell you how to do it. So that's just a little message from your big homie, Jay Roos. I hope you apply it. Because there's always going to be somebody out there telling you can't do something. And just use that as fuel, like, okay, well, I want to know what your phone number is, and I want to know where to locate you when I accomplish it, because we're going to have a lot to talk about, and you're probably going to want to know my formula of how I did it. So don't be surprised when you see people like Jake Paul come out of nowhere and start mopping dudes with a long history, because it's the will, the determination, the work ethic. A lot of things go into it, but stop having a cookie cutter formula, because as you should know, the best cookies aren't the ones going down the assembly line. The best cookies are the ones your mom makes in the oven, not down the assembly line. This is Jay Roos. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and be fearless. Yay, yay.